Hey, what's up guys? The Amplified Man here for an impromptu video, hours before the WWE shakeup later tonight, where the WWE will attempt to shake up their rosters and maybe, hopefully, use them correctly and do something with them going forward. There's a concept, it's WWE we're talking about, so don't hold your breath. The bulk of this video, guys, is going to deal with one former WWE female talent. Her name is Gail Kim. Now, if you were to put together a list of female talent you would like to see return to WWE for at least one more run, or at the very least one more match, I'm sure it would look a little something like this. AJ Lee, Melina, Victoria, Gail Kim. Just to name a few, but I'm sure those are some of the names that would be on your list. But I also am pretty sure that you can check Gail Kim's name off in the box in the category never to be seen again in WWE. I say that reluctantly because I don't want to believe that. I would love to see Gail Kim back, but since Gail Kim has been gone from WWE, she has thrown jabs at Vince McMahon in WWE. She has created waves against WWE and Vince McMahon. Not the good type of waves where you can surf on. No, these are the waves, the big waves that can knock you out. In fact, many say when Gail Kim left WWE, when she quit WWE, she created a tidal wave in and of itself. You guys remember that? That was around 2009-ish, I believe, when Gail Kim, on national TV, during a Monday Night Raw, during a Battle Royal, eliminated herself. This is a true story, guys. She eliminated herself and quit WWE. And unfortunately for Gail Kim, it was at the one moment where Kevin Dunn switched camera angles. So Gail Kim had it perfectly planned. It was during the Battle Royal. It was during Monday Night Raw. She eliminated herself on the hard camera side. But Kevin Dunn switched camera angles. So I'm sure that's something that perturbs Gail Kim to this very day, guys. Kevin Dunn, damn you! So I'm pretty sure Vince McMahon didn't even know what happened by the time Gail Kim went to gorilla position. But that is a true story. She eliminated herself, and she joined. Many in attendance said she joined Melina, and they walked up the rampway together. Because if you guys remember, that was Melina's last match as well. So a lot of people think that this was perfectly planned between the two. I use the word perfectly loosely because they did not take under consideration that Kevin Dunn can switch camera angles at any moment. But anyway, guys, I needed to tell that backstory going forward with this story. That is how Gail Kim left WWE. She eliminated herself as a big FU to Vince McMahon and the company. That's ballsy. A lot of people talk about what Sasha Banks is doing this weekend. What she did post-WrestleMania, basically walking out of the company. Will she return? Nobody knows. But you gotta look at someone like Gail Kim. She did it before anyone else. And whether it was actually shown or not, she did it on national TV during Raw, during the Battle Royal. That takes balls, and that deserves mad props. But Gail Kim did not end there. Over the years, she has taken more jabs at Vince McMahon and WWE, but they really started to pick up more right before WrestleMania, when Gail Kim tweeted over to Kurt Angle. And this was in response when we all found out Baron Corbin was going to be Kurt Angle's last match. And Gail Kim tweeted, "Vince is an asshole, but you're Kurt fucking Angle and you will make this match memorable no matter what." She came right out and said Vince McMahon is an asshole. Probably not going to get you brownie points with Vince McMahon, but I'm sure she doesn't care. I believe she's still a producer with TNA Impact. So she's got a job. She's not begging Vince to come back or yearning for one more match. She's retired for the most part, and she's got a producer role right now in pro wrestling, so she's good. That also didn't stop her from going forward. Recently, she took to an interview with Ring the Bell, and she said these quotes. And this is more than just jabs the Vince. This is basically calling him out. And she put, and I quote, she believes Vince McMahon would never even think about having a person of color as the face of the WWE. She stated, I truly believe that he doesn't think someone of color could be his face of the company. She said, I strongly disagree with this because if you can connect with an audience in some way, you can be a top star. She goes on to voice her worries for today's roster. And she says, when I see talented people like Asuka and Kairi Sane get hired, I do worry for them because I just know what kind of talent they have. And I'm worried about the stereotypes in this business. In a lot of cases, a lot of the ethnic minorities get grouped together because the WWE doesn't know what else to do with them. That's huge, guys. I don't want to dissect her words because I don't want to talk for her. I will leave these words into the eyes and ears of the beholder, which is you, the amplified unit. You take those words and you do what you will with them. But to me, they seem like more than just jabs. These are Gail Kim's real worries, real frustrations with WWE and Vince McMahon, and she's not holding back on them. These are things that we all kind of alluded to over the years with Vince McMahon. We didn't want to come out and call him a racist. We still don't want to do such. Some of you may want to do that straight out. But we want to. We want to believe and give the benefit of the doubt. But we've had no choice but to bring this up in conversation with Vince over the years because it does seem like Gail Kim has said straight out in this interview with Ring the Bell, it does seem like he doesn't know what to do with minorities. No matter what the minority is, it doesn't seem like he knows what to do with them, so he goes with a simple approach. Put them on the back burner or group them together. So again, it's in the eyes and ears of the beholder, but for someone to come right out and basically just call him out full blast and say something like, I believe he, meaning Vince McMahon, never even thought about having a person of color as the face of WWE because I honestly believe he doesn't think that someone of color could be the face of his company. That's huge. That's going out and saying, even having Kofi as his champion, Vince is not even conceding the fact, that Kofi could actually be the man in the company. We'll give him the title, just like we'll give Shinsuke and Asuka a Royal Rumble victory, but we're not actually going to give them the rocket, strap them to their back, and let them fly. We'll give Naomi the women's championship, but just for a few months, just to shut people up, show that we gave someone of color a championship, but then we'll put her back on the back burner. We'll give Kofi Kingston the championship, we'll let everyone have their big moment, but we'll never actually give him the rocket and see what he can really do. That's what Gail is saying. So far in WWE, she's correct. We gotta see what they do with Kofi Kingston. But you can rag on Gail Kim for these statements all you want. However, I will say this. So far, she's right. So until WWE can kind of prove these words and statements wrong, you can't really drag her through the mud for these words. Interesting. Again, Gail Kim has never been one to really hold back, and she's one that doesn't need to. She doesn't come crawling back to somebody or a company. She's never been that person. She's successful in her own right. Again, I believe she's still a producer for TNA Impact after she retired full-time. She's married to Robert Irvine, who you guys know does Restaurant Impossible. I open my morning up every morning with a Robert Irvine bar. They're these protein, I can speak, they're protein bars. They're these protein bars, guys. Google them, look them up. There's a name for him, I believe. I apologize. I eat him every morning. I don't even really look at the wrapper. But it's got Irvine right there, and I just call them the Robert Irvine bars. I think maybe they're called Crunch Bar. I have no idea, man. But Robert Irvine, Gail Kim's husband, if you guys want to have an amazing protein bar that actually does the job pre-workout or post-workout and actually tastes damn good and is whey protein, Google that shit, man. It's really good. That's your husband. So they're good. They're successful. They don't need to crawl back. They're going to tell you how they truly feel. So you have to at least respect that. Whether you believe them or want to believe them or think there's facts behind it or not, you have to at least respect it. And again, I don't see how you're seeing something different than what she's saying. I can't see that. Because what she said so far, I don't know how you can deny that. One person actually, after that Kurt Angle tweet that she sent out, one person actually tried to defend the WWE. And this was Gail Kim's response. I love this. She said, "Eat your bootios and drink the Vince McMahon Kool-Aid while watching the network." So Gail Kim gives zero fucks about going for the knockout blow on Vince McMahon. You gotta respect that. Again, in a time and era today where all the superstars on the WWE roster and former stars, they're kind of trying to kiss ass still. They want to be in Vince's good graces. So they blast the fans that critique the product or are negative to the product, right? That's what's popular in today's WWE roster. Everybody wants to kiss McMahon's ass. And those that are no longer with the company, they want to kind of come back. So they're kind of throwing jabs at the fans that critique the product and are negative. And they don't just take everything Vince has given them. Gail Kim is a breath of fresh air. She calls McMahon out at every turn that she feels needs to be called out. Again, that is respect. Do with those words what you will, guys, but I thought that was an interesting article that I read early this morning, man. It was like 5 a.m. and this article came across my desk and I was like, wow, Gail Kim's at it again, man. And she's calling him right out. I mean, and this is with Kofi Kingston winning the championship, and she's coming right out and saying, I just don't believe that Vince really will see any person of color as the top guy. He can throw every title on them, but is he really going to be promoted as the top guy? This is where you always get somebody going, well, Roman Reigns is wild Samoan. What the fuck you... Okay. What the fuck does that... You really... Are you grouping them with... Now we're getting to the fine lines, guys. Now we're talking about Elizabeth Warren, right? Everyone called her Pocahontas, right? Donald Trump called her Pocahontas because she said she had like a minuscule trace of Indian in her. Or Native American. And, come to find out, she like didn't, or she had to apologize because she found out that's what she was told, but like I guess the testing didn't show such, or I don't know what the deal was. But apparently this Elizabeth Warren, this public figure, this politician, she tried to get into a bunch of things by saying she was Native American, when in reality, dude, you're just fucking white. Shut up. You know, when you talk minorities, we know the deal with Vince anyway. We're talking African American. We're talking Asian of sort. Whatever, whether you're Japanese, Chinese, it doesn't matter. Vince McMahon likes to group minorities together, and that's what Gail is saying. So it doesn't matter where you're from as an African American. It doesn't matter where you're from in all of Asia. Vince will, Indian. It doesn't matter. He will group you. He will put you in these little stables. He'll go storyline-wise with such. And she's saying that's all he knows to do. She's basically just saying, isn't there something else you can come up with? I don't know, guys. It's worth discussion. It's worth talking about, you know what I mean? We'll see what he does with Kofi. If Kofi Mania really stills still thrives weeks and months from now, then you have to give this guy the chance. You should be giving him a chance anyway. Instead of putting him out there, the Raw after WrestleMania, and he's in a tag team with Seth Rollins against The Bar in a match you know is going to get shit on, why would you use him like that? Use him in a way and in a role where fans are going to continue to be excited to see him. They throw him in a match where everyone knows he's going to be shit on Raw after Mania, and then on SmackDown after WrestleMania, 24 hours later, they put him in another match with The Bar, knowing it was going to get shit on. Don't be afraid to give this guy the rocket, blast him off in the outer space, and let's see how far he truly can go. Or Gail Kim's words are fully correct. Expose her words or be exposed. Those are the options. Ball's in your court. Just saying, man. You know what I mean? I say it's in the eyes and ears of the beholder, but I just ask one, how are you going to dispute what she's saying? You know? Again, I always get the person say Roman Reigns, he's wild. The Rock was half and half, or half and half and half. I don't even care if he was 10 different things. You can't clump The Rock and Roman Reigns and Samoan heritage, or being half black, and say, see, Vince doesn't do what Gail Kim is saying. No, you're going to have to give me much more and much more defined options than The Rock and Roman, I assure you. So I'll shut up about that now, guys. I just thought that was an interesting topic and a thing to debate, man. You know what I mean? Is Gail Kim correct here? I don't see how you could say she's not. Now, of course, there might be a lot of gray in between that can be open for discussion. But, you know, a lot of people are talking about these controversial words by Gail Kim this morning. Are they controversial or are they just fact? That would be my question if I can speak and get it out. Controversial or just straight up facts? Or both? Controversial facts. Before I end this video, guys, I just want to say Shinsuke Nakamura, a lot of people thought he would be signing with AEW when his contract expired. Nobody really knew the exact date of expiration. We knew his contract expired between January and WrestleMania in April. That's a lot of time, obviously, January, February, March, April. But now we are post-WrestleMania, and Shinsuke Nakamura is scheduled to be on a lot of live events going forward, and in fact, Shinsuke said before WrestleMania, before his contract expired, I should say, Shinsuke said, I see myself staying with WWE when my contract expires. So he was alluding that he wasn't even going anywhere anyway. All the rumors about AEW were just fans hoping that he would, so he would be used properly. But Shinsuke said he has no plans on going anywhere else. We heard that his contract expired between January and WrestleMania. WrestleMania is now over, and he is being advertised for many dates in the future. So this tells us that he re-signed with WWE. Again, not 100% confirmation, but based on the facts that we know, by what he said himself before the contract expired, and based on the time frame we knew about the contract. Meltzer also was asked about this. Not that Meltzer's word is gospel, but he was asked about this, and he said pretty straightforward, he's staying. So take that for what it's worth as well. But based on the facts that I'm seeing as well, Shinsuke Nakamura has re-signed with WWE, just like AJ Styles. So whether they wanted to or not, it looks like Vince threw a lot more money at them and said, no, you're staying put. Remains to be seen. Before I end the video, guys, I want to end it. The video was kind of about a heavy topic like race and WWE and Vince McMahon and how he perceives race and minorities. So I want to end it on a lighter note. Someone named Sexy Star. That's right. She's a professional wrestler, UFC too. I have no idea, guys. But apparently she is taking claim for the women's revolution. This is a true story. Superstar, do I call her that? Named Sexy Star. Former Lucha Underground champion. And because of that, she is stating that because she was Lucha Underground champion, this is a quote, I personally think that yes, WWE took notice that I was the only Lucha Underground champion, women-wise. I think WWE saw the buzz that had gotten all over the world and it inspired them to act. And she is taking credit for the women's revolution, or at least sparking that. My first thought on this, what the fuck is a sexy star? Obviously, you've heard about her, you knew the accomplishments. You never really bulked her into some serious threat for WWE or in the pro wrestling world. You just didn't. And then she goes and takes credit for the women's revolution. That's like the Bella Twins taking credit for the women's revolution when they were divas. Everything the revolution was trying to get away from. That's like saying Dunkin' Donuts is the sponsor of Jenny Craig's weight loss program. Dunkin' Donuts, of all things, cannot be the sponsor for Jenny Craig's weight loss program because it's Dunkin' Donuts. And you're trying to lose weight. Oh, the irony. Total divas taking credit for the revolution. Sexy star taking credit for the revolution. This was great. The best part of this was the response from all of her peers in the wrestling business. Hurricane Helms wrote, much like Hornswoggle inspired 205 Live. I love that. Nick Aldis wrote, yes, and I don't like to talk about it, but I invented wrestling. I love these. Tessa Blanchard wrote, oh Lord, when she read that. Just 2 words, oh Lord. In other words, please help us. Are you serious? Paige sent a funny response of the guy from The Office. He does the voice in the Minions of Gru, and he was just laughing hysterically. So that was kind of like a gif, whatever these kids call these things today. Paige sent that out. Medusa, Alundra Blaze, she just put the emoji. You know what I mean? Like, what? That emoji where it's the crooked I love that response. Didn't even put anything in writing, just the what? I love it. Brian Cage, absolutely absurd, he put. We could go on and on, guys. Peers in her industry, all of her peers, all the other fellow wrestlers, they just came out and had a hilarious response to that. Because if you can't laugh at that, or feel bad for Sexy Star, because obviously something isn't right in the dome piece, but if you can't laugh at that, then I don't know what to tell you. Unless she seriously, honestly believes those words, then you kind of have to feel sad for her. Because that sucks. But that's all I want to talk about right now, guys. That's the impromptu video. I just wanted to spend about 20-ish minutes with you guys before the Superstar shakeup. So thank you for allowing me into your homes or into your cell phone devices, wherever you are, on a fucking subway or doing your cardio or shopping, wherever the fuck you're watching me right now. Thank you for inviting me onto your screen. Or if you're just listening to me as an audio file, that's cool too. I have podcasts for that, by the way, guys. Every single weekend, I put out an hour-plus podcast. It's exclusively for YouTube, but we like to use it as an audio file, so you don't have to be restricted to one area and just watching me for over an hour. You can use that as an audio file. So make sure you check them out. I'm already up to, this weekend will be 15 episodes. So we are flying. Time flies when you're having fun. Of course we have fun on this channel. Always make sure you're subscribed, notified, and hopefully you're digging the content, guys. But yeah, I know you guys got things to do. I do too, so I'm going to shut up now, all right? I just want to spend about 20 minutes, 25 minutes with you guys and talk about some hot topics in the wrestling world today. I'll, of course, see you guys tomorrow morning for the Monday Night Raw review and reaction, where we are going to review and react to the Superstar Shakeup Night 1. Oh, this should be something. I don't know if I should be intrigued, excited, nerved, cringing. I don't know what I should be feeling right now, but let's just say this should be interesting. For now, guys, the Amplified Man. Yow! Check you later.